I do not want you to use this Insta360 X3 for your fishing channel, your outdoor channel. Just please don't do it. Maybe like me, you're thinking, oh, this could be really cool for kayak fishing. You're always going to catch every shot because it sees everything. Like, you don't have to aim it before you hit record, right? And you're always guaranteed to get the shot. Or maybe you're into all the different cool creative things that this camera claims to be able to do. Maybe you even say, hey, it can even do underwater shots, and so I can use it for that. You know, all those things are true, but I don't want you using this camera because it would make my videos look a little less special if everybody knows what this can do. But on the other side, I really want to see people succeed. So I'm going to tell you all the reasons why I think this Insta360 X3 is by far the best action cam you can use for your fishing and outdoor channels. So I'm going to show you everything, the way I edit, the way I shoot it, all the different shots. The key to this thing is what's called reframing, and that's what we're going to be talking about. Ever since I got this Insta360 X3 camera, I knew it was going to be amazing for my kayak fishing. That's why I bought it. Because originally I was thinking, you know, I want to get all these different camera views, and I felt like my kayak was going to have 6 different cameras and arms and everything, and I didn't want to be that guy. Partly because I'm not good enough not to get my lines tangled in all of them, but it just adds so much complexity. Where with this, I can get almost any shot that I want. I just really, it's only my creativity that's limited. This camera will do it. To be honest, I need to be more creative with it. It's become the tool though that I use more than just about anything else. The only thing that I use more than this camera in my videos at this point is TubeBuddy. This might be the thing that has grown my channel more than anything. So for every video that I do, I use TubeBuddy to create my keywords. But the cool thing is I can set up these keyword lists, and then I can just, with one click, I can pull in all the ones that I want. But that's not the amazing thing. See, I use this all the time, and TubeBuddy reached out and said, hey, can we sponsor a video? And I was like, yeah. And I want to talk about just a couple of the other tools that I use. They're starting to get into AI, and a lot of times AI is sort of like, okay, it's sort of cool. This is really helpful AI. So the first thing that I use consistently is the thumbnail analyzer. So look at this. Here's a video from last summer. When I went through, you can see that like my first thumbnail was 90% less effective. And what I found is by using this tool, I sort of learned a little bit about thumbnail design. And now you test it out and you prove that it works. Like, this is just information to guide you, and it is still in beta, but you can get access to it now, which is awesome. And the other one is if you wanted to come up with a title, you know, there's a certain recipe to creating a cool title that'll make people click. They have this AI title generator. You can take your existing one and then just generate ideas, and it comes up with all of these different things, right? And you can say, okay, I like that one, and I'm just going to click apply, and it'll change it. But here's the thing. Let's say you're not convinced. So they also do A/B testing, right? And so you can test that new title versus your old title or the thumbnail, or you can do a combination of all of them. I recommend trying to only do 1 or 2 tests though, so you know exactly what it is, so that you can learn from it and you can become a better YouTuber. Like, that's why I use TubeBuddy, because it's helped me really learn how to grow my channel. And since I started using it, you know, I've grown from like 900 subs to over 5,000 now. And, you know, we're just going to keep on going. TubeBuddy is just indispensable to me. So then here's the thing. Right now, they're running 50% off their annual subscriptions. I'm on the Legend plan. It gives you access to all the tools that they have, all the cool AI stuff, all the new stuff that comes out. I have gotten a ton more views and subscribers since I started using it. Their data says 79% more views than people who don't use TubeBuddy. I believe it. Hey, you want to grow your channel? Use TubeBuddy. I appreciate them sponsoring this. Use my link below. Helps the channel even a little bit more. So the thing that makes the Insta360 really cool is this idea of reframing, right? And so, you know, if we look at the video footage from this, if you put this in 360 mode, it's capturing everything, up, down, around. It's 360 degrees. It captures a sphere of video in 5.7K. So then what you can do is essentially you aim the camera afterwards. So here, if we look at this video, this footage from a recent video, so I've already aimed the camera, but I can go in now at this point and I can move it and say, I want the front view, or I want to catch the side view, or I want to zoom in a little bit more, right? Or I want to zoom in more on me. You can do all of these different things. And as you zoom out, you sort of get this really wild spherical view. There's just so much that you can do with this thing. Like you do the little tiny planet thing if you wanted to do that. I haven't really used this shot much, but I have some ideas on when I could, and so I feel like I've used it once or twice. But that's the thing; it just gives you all of these different possibilities of what you can do. This idea of reframing. So the thing that I really thought it was going to be cool for is, so after you shoot a video, you can actually aim it, and it gives you this camera movement. Like you can put in keyframes, and it's really easy to do so that you can basically follow the action if you want. And this is what I do on a regular basis. Like I love being able to get these kind of shots and follow the fishing action so that where the fish is going, I can follow it. You know, so it's shooting all around, but then I tell it after the fact, like, hey, well, we're going to follow this fish. We're going to make sure that we get that shot. And I get all kinds of comments. I'm like, wow, that was a cool shot. That was cool video. That's the biggest thing, right? From a kayak fishing perspective, you don't know what's going to happen, whether it's going to be in front or on either side of you. This camera allows you to follow the action and to make that happen. But it's also got all the other cool features, like the invisible selfie stick. You know, I'll put it on the selfie stick in front of me or beside me for some B-roll or just to do some interview stuff. And it just looks like there's a camera floating in front of me. Now, if you look close, you can see that I'm holding the stick. It's just a small side effect. You can get creative, put it over your shoulder. So speaking of over the shoulder, I've been running it on a Best 360 backpack sort of over my shoulder to get that third person point of view. I think that's a really cool look, and it gives me something a little bit different that a lot of people don't have. It's not just running on the chest cam or on the hat cam. So I love that view as well. The reason that view and even the kayak view works is because you can get this really wide field of view, wider than you can get on a GoPro, but it still looks kind of cinematic in a way. It's got really good picture quality. Or you can zoom in and you can crop it down. You can frame it to look, you know, more like widescreen anamorphic footage if you wanted, or you can do it vertically. So you have the ability to change all these different aspect ratios, so you can click it right in one click. You can change it to all these different formats. I mean, that's really helpful if you wanted to create content on different platforms. YouTube is my home, so I typically, most everything I'm creating is in 16:9. But just the options that the software gives you to create the shots after the fact, it's incredible. It's like having a personal cameraman with you at all times. You know, with the selfie stick, you can stick it up in the air, get like a fake drone shot too, which is something really cool. Or I just got and I haven't used it yet, but I just got like a 3-meter one. So it's like 10 foot in the air. It's with this field of view, it's really going to look like there's a drone up above me. And so pay attention. You'll see that coming up in some of my upcoming videos. The external microphone is pretty good. For kayak fishing, the way I have it mounted, it picks up all of the hull noise. So I do run an external microphone, and the quality of the external microphone is really good. There are a couple negatives, and I'll get to that in just a moment. A couple other quick positives. One is battery life. So I can film pretty much all day on 3 batteries. So the battery life is maybe an hour and a half per battery. Might even be a little bit longer than that. I know my GoPro on my chest is usually limiting more than what the Insta360 does, which is good because especially on the kayak, it's mounted out in front of me. Or in a lot of my other videos, it's mounted up above me in the back. Now when it does run out of battery, it gives you like these 3 like vibration and a little bit of a beep, so you know, like oh hey, that battery just died. It's not like the GoPro that for me, when it dies, it just dies and you don't know, and you might have missed a fish. I haven't experienced that with the Insta360. And that brings me to reliability. I've had really 0 issues with the Insta360, where the GoPro can be maddening at times. And so, you know, there are a couple little things with the Insta360 that don't make it 100% perfect, but it's by far the best action cam that I've used. What are those things that I don't love? Well, one is when you use that external microphone, it goes into this port, right? And so, you know, if you watch the channel, you know that I get into some brush. I go through the undergrowth, and I haven't found a way to secure a microphone to this so that it can handle that abuse. I've lost a couple microphones. I've had them fall in the water.
I am so shallow right now. My shoulder is stuck in the mud. Okay.
I gotta get my microphone.
Oh gosh. I'm stuck in the mud. That's the problem.
Don't sink, don't sink, don't sink, don't sink, don't sink, don't sink. So that's a little bit of a negative, and there might be a way to do it. I just haven't figured it out yet. The other thing is if you are running an external mic, you're no longer waterproof. If you want to make sure you maintain the waterproof, make sure that this orange is not showing when you click all of these things back in. That orange is sort of a warning. It says, hey, this isn't fully sealed at this point. Speaking of waterproofing, this waterproofing is kind of like your cell phone waterproofing. Like, it can get wet, it can be underwater as long as all these things are sealed up for a limited amount of time. But if you're going to be running it underwater all the time, you probably just want to get the waterproof case, the dive case, and you know, they make that. It's like an extra $100, I think. But I've had zero issues with it. I've taken it 5 or 6 feet deep when I was down in Florida. I dip it down in the freezing waters when in the wintertime. Like, I've had zero issues with the waterproof side of it. I did have one period of time where I was getting some weird, it was in a weird mode. All I did was I just updated the software and did a factory reset, and everything's been perfect since. The final thing, the biggest negative of these, and I knew this going in, is these lenses, because they stick out the way they do. You know, so you can see they're sort of like bubbled out. If you hit these, they're going to scratch. And one of my lenses does have a couple scratches on it, but it hasn't significantly affected the video quality. I mean, they're fairly minor. It got blown over one time and it hit some rocks, and that's the negative, the durability. I think it costs about $100 to get these replaced because they're not removable. You have to send it in. But I will tell you this: they just released the Insta360 X3. It has removable lens guards, and so if that's the only thing holding you back, check out the X3. It's the creativity. This allows you to create the shots. When you start talking about trying to film B-roll, this lets you do B-roll in a completely different way. But it also works as a phenomenal main camera. You don't have to use it in 360 mode. It actually has a single lens mode, so you can use either one of these and shoot in 4K if you want to do that, and just use it as a regular action cam. And it's phenomenal for that as well. But I tend to just use the most of its ability to shoot in 360 mode and then spend a little bit of time to reframe. Not only am I going to keep doing it, I plan on getting a second one. I'll probably pick up the X3 because, you know, whether I want to be able to do some underwater stuff, or if I want that behind the back view on the kayak and the one in front, I can see me wanting another one of these. I have 2 GoPros. I'll probably be replacing one of them with one of these sometime in the near future. You know, today, I think the tools that we have to create videos, to grow a YouTube channel, are absolutely amazing. So this is one of the best ones. And like I said before, TubeBuddy is one of the other ones that I use. And so I want to thank them one more time for sponsoring this video. And don't forget to check out the link below. Save 50% on the subscriptions right now. The things that you can do with this, I haven't even scratched the surface of what it can possibly do. If you want your channel to stand out, I mean, this is probably one of the ways to do it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.